How's it going, everybody? We're in for another Knowledge Now Wednesday with Halight. As you know, I'm Daniel Mendonca, Director of Sales at Halight, and I wanted to talk to you today about something that keeps coming up in a lot of our COVID-19 related conversations with our client partners, potential and current clients of ours. And really what that is the notion of what can and will transfer well to online in terms of training, and what currently doesn't, and the strategy around that. Implementing blended learning and transitioning and moving training online is not an easy task. It takes a lot of change management from different teams, and a lot of change management across your organization. As well, it takes a lot of buy-in from all of the business teams who are involved, all of the learners who are involved. So what we implore you to do is really take a wide range approach of identifying from a strategic perspective what content can go online and how will it be affected. Whether it's positive or negative, let's just use a random number. Let's say your training is a 9 out of 10 on a typical day. In person, that's you think. If you go online with it, will it become a 7 out of 10? How can you add different features to it to make sure that in your transition to online, that content actually is still providing the same value? Although it's different, it's not going to be the same as you're used to. Can we provide a situation where it's still providing an equal amount of value with a blended approach when you're transitioning to online? The biggest thing that we see is organizations who have been doing things for a really long time a certain way, struggling to evaluate what to take online. And that's where we've had some pretty great partnerships through the past 60 to 90 days with our customers about identifying what content they should look at from a timeline perspective to take online, what is kind of the low-hanging fruit, things you can do now, what's going to help with a budget perspective progressing throughout 2020, 2021, but using partnerships that you may have from your L&D agency or reaching out to different consultants. It is a big part of that strategy conversation about transitioning to online content. So when you're going through the process of transitioning some training to online or producing more virtual online, either instructor-led trainings, micro-learnings, e-learnings, videos, etc., feel free to contact us if you have questions, but also just make sure you have a professional who specializes in online training to make sure you're approaching it correctly, because that initial transition to online is a big point of contention with your audience. And if it doesn't go smoothly off the start, you could have some issues. So when you're looking at transitioning to online, make sure you evaluate your strategy, make sure you know what your key objectives are, and make sure you're making sure there's an expert within either your company or an L&D agency or your L&D agency that you work with to make sure things are clear, concise, and on point. If you have any other questions about L&D strategy, let us know. Thanks for listening to another Knowledge Now, and we'll see you guys next week.